Hi everyone, I hope that you're all keeping well. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my 17th year of MRI results for my multiple sclerosis. The letter is unopened, so I just thought it'd be really nice to share them with you together. At least I hope that they're my MRI results, otherwise this could be a very interesting video. So this is the letter from my scan that I had back in January, so it's taken a while for the results to come back. I did receive the letter a couple of months ago, but life's just been a bit busy and I've had problems going on with my shoulders and all sorts, so I've only really just got round to filming. Before I open the letter and talk about the results, I just want to briefly tell you a little bit of my background if you don't know me. I would also like to just talk about my MS clinic day that I had a couple of weeks ago, just because there was some interesting information that I'd like to share, and then just talk a little bit about where I'm at with my frozen shoulders and just my general overall health and what I'm doing to keep well, because it's always good to share. So for people that don't know me, I am 44 years old. I have multiple sclerosis, obviously, and I was diagnosed in July 2008. And it kind of, this video is quite apt actually at the moment, because 17 years ago in June, I was just beginning to get the first symptoms of multiple sclerosis, and I had numbness, weakness, and I was just starting to go for my MRI scans, and I was in and out of doctors. So it's kind of, yeah, I can't believe it's 17 years ago, really, around about this time. So it's quite crazy. So I've had MS for quite some time. So I wanted to set up this channel, I suppose, to document my journey. It started off being a little bit for myself, but then I just realised that actually I was helping other people, and I just wanted to continue that. And once the channel got monetized, I wanted to give that money to help with research for multiple sclerosis, and that really is the aim of the channel now. So that's that really in a nutshell. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is that I went for my yearly MS annual clinic appointment, which was a couple of weeks back. Normally you go to these if you are having treatment or if you have had treatment. They are appointments where they want to check up on seeing your progress really with MS, what's your progression in terms of walking, in terms of eyesight, hearing, all the kind of things that MS will affect, including things like bowel movements, bladder problems, anything. Because it's really important, if you've been on a treatment or a trial, for them to still be monitoring you, to see where you're at, so that they can help you and give you treatment if you need it, or any medication to help manage symptoms if you're having any problems. The reason I wanted to talk about my appointment is because we talked about something that is important to me. It's really about the lesions that we already have in our brain. It's the ones that have caused the damage but are kind of just sitting there really, but over time they expand and we don't really know what happens to those. And there is no treatment as such at the moment. So we discussed those, and I said, you know, if there's no treatment, what do we do at this moment in time? Like, what can we do to help ourselves? And the simple answer was, do everything that you can to help your brain health. So the suggestions were simple things like diet, exercise, water, and sleeping, good sleeping habits, and obviously things like lay off alcohol and smoking. And they're all things that I already knew anyway, but it's just a no-brainer, isn't it? It makes you realise that your brain is just crying out to be loved and nurtured, and whilst there is no treatment or cure for these slowly expanding lesions, this is the thing that we can do for our brains. This is the thing that anybody can do for their brains, regardless of whether you have multiple sclerosis or not. That is something that we can all do on an everyday basis, so easy. Get more sleep, drink more water, have a better diet, reduce our intake of alcohol, stop smoking if we can. Yeah, just simple things. So, and until obviously we either find a cure for this or we can find the treatment for slowly expanding cells, which will hopefully come along in the future. You know, we should be looking after this. So that just really resonated with me. So I just really wanted to share that. On to the letter, because to be honest, this is the main thing, isn't it? So let's do it. Let's do it. Wouldn't it be so funny if it was something completely different? All right, okay. No, it is. So that's good. Good start. Okay, I have received the results of Laura's MRI brain. The purpose of the scan was to assess her multiple sclerosis disease activity. She has been previously treated with alemtuzumab. The current scan has been compared with the previous scan of April 2003. I am pleased to say that the scan is stable with no new lesions seen. In addition, her left shoulder MRI scan is also attached to this report. It demonstrated mild tendinitis of the long head of the biceps tendon. There is some thickening and increased signal of the inferior glenohumeral ligament, and the radiologist suggests that this is consistent with adhesive capsulitis. Okay, so very little on the brain scan and a lot on the shoulder. I didn't even realise they had anything on the shoulder. That's it. So basically the scan is stable with no new lesions. Oh, that's good news. That is really good news. I love the fact that I have a stable scan with no new lesions. I love it. My biggest concern, as I said, are these slowly expanding lesions now. So all I'm doing is the brain health. I think we also have to be mindful that just because you have a scan that comes back which is clear, it doesn't mean to say that you don't have problems with your MS, because unfortunately we do. There's still chronic fatigue there. There's still old symptoms of my old MS that creep in and cause me problems. And of course, this has nothing to do, I don't think, apparently I've been told not, but there's new incoming information to say that frozen shoulder could possibly be linked to MS, so, or neurological conditions, autoimmune conditions, I think it suggested. So just very briefly, because I will do something separate on this, but I am still under physio. I am still waiting for surgery, which I'm, by the way, very reluctant to have. I'm still waiting for hydrodilatation. There's very, very slow progress with my shoulders, but they are still both frozen. This one is still the worst. This one is probably in the process of going the same way as this one, but you know what, life is life, and there are people worse off than me, and I've just learned to adapt now, and I am living my life the way that I can, the best that I can, and I'm doing the best that I can, and I focus on just doing things the right way for my body, for my health, for my brain health, as well as my body health. Everything that I can do, I will do, and I do things that make me feel good on a daily basis, and that's how I cope, and that's how I manage. And I have to think that one day this will go as it came, it will go, and that is all about positive mental attitude, and that's how I take it now. And that's how I think with my MS. You know, we have this disease. There is no cure. I always say that there is no cure, but one day we have to believe that there will be something out there. We just have to stay positive. And before that happens, we have to do the best that we can, and that's all that we can do. So thank you for listening, and thank you for letting me share my information. It's good news. I hope everybody keeps well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.